Hello my dear students, कैसे हैं आप लोग? How are you all? I hope you are all fine. This is Deepankar Banik signing in. I welcome you to SOCH. क्या है ये SOCH? SOCH is a place where we simplify your learning, and you can visit our SOCH at SOCHOnlinelearning.com. This place is all about simplified learning for our CBSE students. So let's get started off with our SOCH. So my dear students, what do you feel? आज हम क्या पढ़ने वाले हैं? See, there may be n number of chapters in our 10th standard 10th. लेकिन इसमें एक ऐसा चैप्टर है, there is one single chapter which is full of theorems. Guess what? Yes, you got it right. The chapter is real numbers, and today we are going to see the theorems which belong to real numbers. देखते हैं, are you well versed with the recent changes in syllabus or not? क्या आपको पता है कितने सारे theorems हैं? Yes, you got it right. There are 7 odd theorems, 1.1, 1.2, ... 1.7. But the good news for you, one of the most difficult theorem, 1.1, that is EDL, got deleted. So we are exempted from this. And 1.2 is again a very famous theorem. What is EDL? Euclid's division lemma. नाम ही भारी है, but इसका CBSE बोर्ड ने इसका काम भी भारी कर दिया, इसको डिलीट कर दिया, right? अब हम 1.2, we think of 1.2. The moment we think of 1.2, हमारे पास कौन सा theorem आता है? FTA. Again a very simple theorem. Guess what is the full form of FTA? Yes, it is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. But आज का क्लास कुछ स्पेशल है, because I am going to take those two theorems which is not basically understood by our students of 10th standard. वो दो theorem है, theorem 1.3 and theorem 1.4. How many of you are aware these two theorems belong to a topic called, yes, revisiting irrational number? From your book you can check it out. Revisiting IRN, I just abbreviate, that is irrational number. So these are the two theorems. अब मैं आपके सामने एक एक्सपेरिमेंट करने वाला हूं which will help you understand how do I recollect those theorems without looking into any book. I am copying it from my memory. देखते हैं. Do you recollect the statement of theorem 1.3? Let me check out from your end. Yes. Let me repeat and let me tell you, state the theorem and you repeat after me. Let P be a prime number. What did I say? Let P be a prime number. So the moment I write this, all of you are aware. So what is P? Let us take P as 3. P be a prime number. Then P divides A square gives P divides A. अब ये मुझे कैसे याद आया? Then P divides A square gives P divides A, where A is what? A positive integer. यही है आपका theorem. This is what your theorem is. Right? Now, if P is a prime number, say P is 3, and A is a positive integer, so let me take A to be, say, 6. Then what is the theorem like? That P divides A square. That means A square is getting divided by P, and it gives, that means it implies that the same A gets divided by P. So to make you understand, this is the whole theorem. I won't go to the statement of the theorem. This is the given and this is what is to be proved. So we can prove within no time. What is A square, my dear friends? Yes, A square क्या हो जाएगा from the given example? 6 square by what? 3. So 6 square by 3 is nothing but 36 by 3. What is 36 by 3? 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6. Yes, it is possible. So can't I say then this very 6 is divided by 3? Yes, this 3 2s are 6, because When 6 square gets divided by 3, then 6 gets divided by 3 is what the theorem is. So conclusion, whenever a square gets divided by p, then that single a would be getting divided by p. इस theorem को बोला जाता है theorem 1.3. Now I just wanted you to understand, if I want to throw more light on this, तो आपको नहीं लगता कि अगर p प्राइम नंबर है तो ठीक है, अगर p प्राइम नंबर नहीं होता, if p is not a prime number, so suppose p is 4. What is prime number? A number which is divisible by itself and 1. 4 is divisible by itself, 4 is divisible by 1, but 4 is divisible by 2. That means we understand that 4 is not a prime number. Let's check out now the theorem. I take a as it is 6. So, do I believe that 6 square is divisible by 4? Yes, 36 is divisible by 4. 4 nines are 36. But the moment I keep like this as per the theorem, 6 by 4, is this possible? No, because this is not exact division. 3 2s are 6, 2 2s are 4. So therefore it gets failed. That means we understood this theorem can only be possible when p is prime number and a is a positive integer. So this is the basic theorem. Now my dear students, in SOCH we believe in simplified learning. I would prove you here itself. This statement is very cumbersome. बहुत difficult लगता है मुझे तो देखने में. अब ये statement को मैं छोटे छोटे 2 box में बदल देता हूँ. I convert this into 2 box. 1 box and 2 box. Can you please repeat? Because SOCH is all about simplified learning. So what is this theorem? Whenever a square gets divided by p, p stands for prime number, then this single a, that is a raised to 1, gets divided by p, where p is prime number and a is positive integer. अब ये theorem को आप वापस reproduce कर सकते हो. You can reproduce in terms of words that if p divides a square, then p divides a. This is the theorem. Over and out. Now theorem 1.4 is a very famous theorem. I would like you to repeat after me. The theorem statement is so simple. Prove that root 2 is irrational. Right? Somebody say ये anti-national है. Why anti-national? Because it is not national, it is not rational. Rational is national. Let me put it in other words. जो चीज commonly हम लोग numbers में नहीं देखते हैं. What are the common numbers? 2, 3, 4, 1 by 2. But this is सड़ा हुआ number. Root 2 is known as सड़ा हुआ. And practically, you know, in English, there is a word called surds. And surd is other synonym for irrational number. So root 2 is irrational. This theorem is very well given in your book, NCERT book. लेकिन फिर मैं आपसे रिपीट करता हूं, वो जो थ्योरम आप लोग देखे हो, इट इज वेरी cumbersome to understand, but I will simplify learning for you. Right? Now, how come? Let me give you by practically demonstrating the proof. मैं मान के चलता हूं, this proof is known as proof of contradiction. Root 2 is not rational. That is, it is not an irrational number. Because why root 2 is not an irrational number? Because there is a proof called proof of contradiction. मतलब जो प्रूफ करना उसका ऑपोजिट सोचेंगे, प्रूफ ऑफ कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन. सो व्हाट इज दिस प्रूफ ऑफ कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन? लेट मी चेक आउट. What is this proof of contradiction? I give you this proof in 2 pages. This is my first page and this is my second page. The first page says that I assume, let me assume that root 2 is not an what? IRN, irrational. Deliberately मैंने उसको बोला ये irrational नहीं है, but obvious है, if it is not irrational, it has to be what? Rational. And any rational number in this world is of the form p by q. बचपन से लेके अभी 55 तक हम लोग p by q के फॉर्म में rational number को देखते आ रहे हैं. For example, if I take p by q to be 14 by 10, don't you think this is a rational number? And And I can say one more thing. 7 2s are 14 and 5 2s are 10. 2 cancel. Therefore, 1 is common. That means this root 2 would finally boil down to from P by Q of the form A into K and B into K, where K cancels and 1 is the common thing. Therefore, common factor between A and B comes out to be 1. Such a number whose common factors are 1 is known as co-primes. So यहाँ पे आपको नहीं लगता 7 और 5 में सिर्फ एक ही चीज कॉमन है? That is 1. So therefore, common factor between A and B is 1. Did you understand? So this is the whole idea of proof of contradiction. Now, if my assumption is wrong, then further I will be able to prove that our assumption that we took, that it is not a rational number, will prove out to be a failure. So here we go. Now, the first step that we have here is this. Root 2 is what? A by B. Right? Root 2 is what? A by B. Finally, it came out to be what? A by B. So, therefore, what I conclude? A will be equal to square root of B. जैसे इसको देखा तो मेरे दिल में दर्द क्या हुआ? दर्द स्क्वायर. आपके दिल में भी दर्द होगा, because I want to get rid of this absurd notion that is squaring both sides. Therefore, this will be A square equal to 2B square. Now here comes into picture theorem number 1.3. That's why I taught you theorem number 1.3. Don't you think जब 2 इकड़े से तिकड़े मतलब इधर से इधर आएगा, so A square by क्या हो जाएगा? 2 हो जाएगा. See the beauty. A square by 2 हो गया. जब कोई A square by 2 होता तो by theorem 1.3 वो क्या हो जाएगा? A by 2 हो जाएगा. What is A by 2? A by 2 is exact division. Therefore, it would come out to be, say, C, a fresh integer C. Therefore, the conclusion is that A would be equal to C. Now there is a great correlation. ये 2C और ये A square दोनों में क्या संबंध दिख रहा है? The A is common. So but obvious, I put this 2C inside this A square and I get the final, this thing, equation. So while I put this A square inside this, the scene is like this. 2C का whole square equal to 2B square. What is 2C square? Yes, 4C square, which is equal to 2B square. 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. The history is repeating itself. फिर से B square equal to 2C square आ गया. इसकी भी दो conclusion होंगे. Tell me now, my dear students, क्या conclusion होगा? Yes, you got it right. B square के नीचे 2. As per theorem number 1.3, B के नीचे क्या आ जाएगा? 2. The moment you get B के नीचे 2, तो C के जगह क्या आ जाएगा? D, a fresh constant D. Therefore, conclusion is B equal to 2 into D. Now, my dear friends, from equation number 1, let me put it 1, and equation number 2, what I find? I find the common factor is 2 and the common factor is 2. Common factor between A and B came out to be 2, whereas the common factor should have been 1. जबकि common factor हमारा क्या आ गया? 2, which contradicts our assumption. Therefore, the common factor being 2, our assumption that root 2 is rational number is what? Wrong. If it is wrong, then root 2 is proved out to be a rational number. So this is how the whole theorem gets boiled down to few steps, and we prove root 2 is irrational. This is how we simplify this theorem. My dear students, let me give you a question on the basis of these two theorems which I taught you. The question says, prove that, right? 5 plus 3 root 7 is irrational. As you can see, I have developed this question in front of you, right? The value may vary. अब ये क्वेश्चन को जब देखता हूं तो मेरे जहन में, मेरे दिमाग में what strikes me off is two theorems. Theorem 1.3 and theorem 1.4. 1.3 is prime number theorem, as I taught you now, and 1.4 is root 2 is irrational. Since root 2 is irrational, so we understand anything which comes under root, any prime number whenever it comes under root, for example root 2, root 7, all are irrational. So here it is given that root 7 is given to be what? Irrational. By default we know that root 7 is irrational. So now we are well prepared to answer our question, right? So the solution goes like this, rather the proof. The proof is known as, that's why we are supposed to be very good at theorems. If you are good at theorem, you know the steps from the theorems which will be applicable to this question. देखते हैं कैसा. मान के चलो, let us assume 5 plus 3 root 7. I have to prove this irrational. It is not irrational. So I assume that this is not irrational. So what is the conclusion, my dear friends? So therefore, we are indirectly saying that it has to be what? Rational. Now very famous. What is rational? Yes, rational is P by Q. Now my dear friends, what is 5? 5 is an integer. What are P and Q? As we know from our previous standard, वो भी integers होते हैं. Now this is root 2. This is root 7. This is root 7. Why not root 2? Because I took this as root 7. अब देखते हैं क्या करना है. Now 3 root 7 will be equal to P by Q minus 5. Now tell me, what is this? 5 के नीचे कुछ नहीं है, मतलब 1. Cross multiply, then you get a beautiful thing, that is P minus 5Q upon Q. Now this 3 is looking forward to go down. So root 7 would be equal to P minus 5Q upon 3Q. Now there is a big thing that I am asking. What is this P integer? So what we see, this is integer minus 5 times integer whole upon integer. So this will be nothing but some integer upon another integer, integer 1 upon integer 2. So this will again be of the form what? P by Q. So root 7 came out to be what? Rational number. Whereas the given root 7 was a rational number, which contradicts our statement, that is our assumption that the given thing is irrational. So, but root 7 is given to be what? A rational number. So therefore, by proof of contradiction, we conclude that 5 plus 3 root 7 is nothing but a rational number, hence the proof. This is how you fetch 2 or 3 on 3 marks in your CBSE board examination by applying all these steps. So, in this similar manner, we can actually visualize all this concept using our recorded classes like this. And you can get simplified notes like this. At the same time, you can practice more by using our question bank, questionnaire and MCQs like this. So, for getting all this under one roof, you must visit our website SOCHOnlinelearning.com, and I would appreciate if you like, subscribe, share our channel and of course our website. Thank you.